Hello class, good morning. Welcome to our online class. It's me, Teacher Edzon, your teacher in this session. Okay now, before we start, I would like to assure that you're ready in your comfortable place so that you can focus in our lesson that we are going to discuss this day. In checking our attendance, you just need to like this video so I can know that you already watched our lesson this day. So let's have our objectives. Learn the basic concept and principles in cookery so that in the long run and on their own, they will be able to cook nutritious meals for their family and use the skill learned in putting up their own business. Cooking is a great way to express one's creativity. The preparation of ingredients and the actual cooking activity provide a feeling of fulfillment because when we cook, you are able to nurture your family. In return, they nurture you through their words of appreciation. So now, let's go to our board to discuss the different techniques on how we can prepare our food. Now, let's proceed to food preparation techniques. Food preparation techniques are preliminary steps prior to cooking. Proper application of these techniques creates an appetizing preparation of dishes because the ingredients prepared are correctly done. How often do you help prepare and cook food at home? Are you able to apply different techniques and food preparation correctly? Let us find out how these food preparation techniques are done. The first one, we have the dice. Dice is done by cutting an ingredients into uniform square size. So let's have a picture of dice. This is done by cutting the ingredients lengthwise first, then crosswise. This preparation is almost similar to chop and miss. However, it cuts is more consistent in size. Number 2, let's have the chop. It's done by cutting an ingredient into small uneven pieces. This is typically large than mince and dice. Next, number 3, slice. It's done by cutting an ingredient into flat pieces. This is commonly used in preparing vegetable for sauté. Next, let's have the cube. Cube is a technique similar to dice. This is done by cutting an ingredient into uniform sizes and shapes. It is a mixed equal part and is commonly compared to chunks. Next, number 5, mince. It's done by cutting an ingredient into very tiny and even pieces. This is similar than chop and dice. By mincing, more essential oils and other strong flavors are released from the ingredients. Next, number 6 is julienne. It's done by cutting an ingredients into much-like strips. It is commonly used in preparing vegetables such as carrots. Next, number 7, beat. It's done by mixing fast circular motion. This makes the mixture light like beating the eggs. This can be done manually using a fork or a wooden spoon, or it can be done effortlessly using electric mixer, especially when applied in baking. Next, number 8, stir. Is done by mixing liquid ingredients with a circular motion of the spoon like stirring juice. Number 9, blend. Is done by combining 2 or more ingredients until one cannot be distinguished from the other. This thoroughly mix the ingredients until smooth. Blender and electric mixer can be used to perform this. Next, number 10 is dredge. Dredge is done by coating solid food with powdered ingredients before cooking. This is frequently used when deep frying bread food such as fried chicken and calamares to make it crispy. Breading foods like meatballs and burger patties also holds the ingredients intact to retain its shape while cooking. Next, number 11, marinate is done by soaking the food in a dressing or sauce for at least an hour before cooking to enhance its flavor. The sauce, where the food is soaked, is called marinade. Number 12, cream, is done by rubbing or mashing ingredients against the side of the bowl. This technique is particularly encountered in baking. This can be done manually using a back part of the wooden spoon or automatically use an electric mixer. Number 13, blanch, is done by soaking the ingredients into hot water followed by the cold water. This technique is normally applied in preparing leafy vegetables. And last, we have the base. It's done by moisturizing the food while it is being broiled, roasted, or baked. Through basting, the food techniques or the food become juicier and more flavorful. One of the important steps in learning how to cook is to be familiar with the application of different methods of cooking and their advantages and disadvantages. So here are the different methods of cooking clustered into 3 groups. So first, we have the dry heat cooking method. Utilizes air or fat as its medium. It includes the following. Letter A, broiling, is done by cooking over or under a direct source of heat which may be radiated by electric gas or charcoal. This is ideal for cooking smaller cuts of meat, poultry, or fish that can be flipped over on a grill. Letter B, roasting, refers to cooking on a spit before an open fire. This can be done using live coals or using an oven with rotisserie. The rotisserie is a skewer that holds the meat and poultry while being roasted. Next, letter C, baking, is a simply cooking food in an enclosed equipment called oven. Next, letter D, sautéing, refers to cooking a small amount of fat or in a lightly greased pan. High meat is used in this method so that the moisture of food will remain intact. Next, letter E, pan frying, is done by cooking the food in a moderate amount of fat or cooking oil set in medium heat. Next, letter F, deep fat frying, is done by submerging the food in a big amount of fat or cooking oil. Meatballs and onion rings are cooked using this method to assure even cooking and crispy texture. Our second method is moist heat cooking method. Uses water or water-based liquid. It includes the following. Poaching. It's done by cooking the food in small amount of water using the lowest temperature about 71 degrees Celsius to 81 degrees Celsius. Less movement of bubbles is observed in the process so as to cook delicate food items such as eggs and chicken. Letter B is simmering. It's done by cooking the food in liquid below the boiling point. The temperature used for this method ranges from 85 degrees Celsius to 96 degrees Celsius. This is essential for absorbing the flavors in stew, meat, and soups. Letter C, boiling, is done by cooking the food until it reaches boiling point. It uses the highest temperature for submersion, which is 100 degrees Celsius. Next, letter D, steaming, is done by cooking the food using the vapor that comes from the boiling water. The food is in contact only with the steam produced from the boiling liquid at high temperature, making it healthier way of cooking. Next, letter E, stewing, is a slow method of cooking where the food is cut into pieces and cooked minimum amount of liquid, water, stock, or sauce. Stew have thickened sauce consistently. And our last method is combination cooking method. It is a popular known as braising. This uses both dry heat and moist heat method in cooking food. This is where the ingredients such as meat, poultry, or fish seared in a fat and high temperature when simmered in a small amount of water for better texture and flavor. So those are the techniques or methods that you need to use before cooking. So now let's have the summarization. Preparation of ingredients using various cutting and mixing techniques is important due to the following reason. First, it makes the ingredient easier to cook. Second one, it adds aesthetic quality of the food because of its sizes and shapes. The third one, it helps release more flavors from ingredients when cooked. And next, number 4, it contributes an even cooking of ingredients. And also, cooking methods are clustered into dry heat cooking methods, moist heat cooking methods, and combination of cooking methods. And last, appropriate food preparation techniques and cooking methods contributes to the quality of food being cooked. So thank you for watching and listening our lesson. Hope you have learned something from that. So our next lesson is about kitchen and kitchen layout. Thank you!